Hello, and welcome to The Art Will Not Be Changing, the Fugitive Poem Show. We've got a really cool guest tonight. We got some great stuff to discuss. Before we do, I always forget to do this at the beginning of the show. I'm not going to do it tonight. I'm not going to forget tonight. Our music is done by the illustrious C Notes. C Notes is an incredible rapper, producer, beat maker, and you can get to him by the link tree right there on your screen. If you have music needs, really a talented individual and a wonderful creative to work with. So before we jump in, I'm going to hijack the show for a minute because I had something very cool happen. There is a brand new magazine out called The Bleeding Margin. It comes from the Capital Horror, which you see right here. It's a new horror entertainment and podcast company. They're really doing cool stuff. And one of the cool things that they're doing is putting out a magazine. If you go to the shop section and scroll down, you'll see you can get it either digital or physical. And let's zoom in a little bit here. And what you will see is the first issue of The Bleeding Margin. And if you look right there, hold on, you'll see Christian DeMatteo. I have had my short story, The Nest, published. It's a very, very fucked up body horror, rural horror short story about a young girl going through a horrific trial to get an item that's just absolutely steeped in dark magic. And it's a really effed up story surrounded by other really effed up stories in this incredibly cool magazine, The Bleeding Margin. So if you want to get your copy, go to capitalhorror.com. It's The Bleeding Margin is in the shop section. You can get it digital or you can get it physical. And you get to read my latest short story published in the magazine. I'm really excited about it. And thank you very much to the publishers and editors at the magazine for accepting my story. Next up, very quickly, have you gotten your shocking copy of Blood Valkyrie in Vegas yet? It is available for sale on the Fugitive Poems website, and it is causing quite a stir. We've done a number of cons in the last 2 months, and this is flying off the table. It is the story of a young girl who goes to a party that turns into a satanic blood orgy and then a satanic blood bath. And she desperately has to try and fight her way through over 100 demons to survive. And then this thing shows up to help or to hurt. It is absolutely been a huge hit for us. Go to fugitivepoems.com and you can get your copy. I'm going to bring my co-hosts to the stage now. We're going to bring co-founder of Fugitive Poems, James Lyons, to the stage. Hello, James Lyons. How are you?
Hello. What's going on?
Not too much. Well, a lot, actually. A lot of cool stuff. And Marcus Capitellowitz. Mark Capitelli is here, and he is the ability to talk, perhaps or not. I don't know. But he has the best banner that we have for anybody. Mark the Decapitator Capitelli, senior editor and horse thief.
Thumbs up if you can hear me, because I can't hear you. Damn it. All right.
I can hear you.
Fingers up because this sucks. All right, hold on.
Nicely, a positive start. So who are we having on the show today? Who is waiting in the green room, enjoying the wonderful snacks and other luxuries that we put in the green room? Well, we have the creator of an incredible publishing company who is now the creator of an incredible distribution company, and is the distributor for Fugitive Poems Comics. Please welcome to the show the great, the madman, Phil Russertt.
First of all, there are no green M&Ms in this room, and I'm not happy.
We removed them all. We thought you wanted them gone.
Thanks for having me on, guys. What's going on?
James kicking through it. How are you, Phil? What's going on?
Busy, but good. Good. Everything's good. Hey, Evan. Everything's good. Can't complain.
Oh, we got a bunch of comments already. Oh, they're all from Mark.
Yeah, you didn't read anything, including the private chat where he told you he didn't have any audio and couldn't hear you.
No, well, I was doing something. I'm working here. You can't miss Blood Orgy and Bloodbaths, Kenneth says. The Mark just keeps hollering about not being able to be heard. You got a thumbs up from Kenneth Beardsley. Oh, and Evan is in the chat. Capitelli, did someone give you a shiner? He was talking back a little bit, and his wife knew how to put him in his place. Evan says, hi, Phil. And so, Phil, you are, I'll give a little background. Our first Terrificon was 4 years ago, and we got placed, James and I, next to this absolute nut job named Phil Russertt. Phil became an immediate friend, immediately started guiding us through everything we didn't know how to do, didn't know how to function at a con. I had no idea pants were required. And Phil really helped us out on how to, your stage presence, your table presence, everything. And then started giving us tips about the indie comic world and became a dear friend and mentor. And he also makes incredible comics. He's got the Tragedy series, which we're going to talk about a little bit. But this friendship has lasted all these years, despite me being me. I
really just like James.
I knew it. I fucking knew it.
James, I could sit and have food with, and he doesn't go to the bathroom 8 times.
Well, we're putting that on the show, aren't we? I ate an entire bag of Carolina Reaper beef jerky. I didn't know what it was going to do to me.
Yeah, you know what it's going to do to Chili's bathroom.
And that just gives you an insight to the Christian and who he is. An entire bag of beef jerky.
That's funny. I don't have an echo, so I don't know.
No, the echo was me. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, we
By
got
some skill, I can now hear you. Okay. Sorry about that. I don't know what the heck happened. Everything was fine. I heard the opening thing, and
we heard it all the way on the West Coast. I don't know if he's referring to the echo or me in the Chili's bathroom.
Yeah, really. We just saw kids running and screaming out of the. It was like a Godzilla movie. The smog monster. Yeah.
So what we're going to talk about tonight, the us setting up our working with Phil happened at this meeting that I had to keep leaving.
For mysterious reasons.
His 13-year-old daughter is there, who clearly also knows what I'm doing. Excuse me a second. I just go and decimate the bathroom. I come back. Yeah, so we were talking business, were we? Excuse me a minute.
Yeah, it's funny, right? If we didn't know each other, that would have been one hell of a first impression.
Oh, absolutely.
Hey, Jing, what's going on? He's the cover of our new Phil Views this month, and Phantom Blade Productions. Phenomenal book that he illustrates himself and prints himself, and that man knows presentation. He packages everything nicely, and you should check out his books. Very different, very original. If that's what you're looking for, he's your guy.
Well, actually, let's show that. So, Phil, let's first, Phil, when did you start making your own indie comics? Because you've been in this industry a little while.
Well, I've been in the industry, I don't know, professionally 8 or 9 years. I was running conventions and everything, but I started publishing from what was supposed to be my deathbed in 2021. So, and ever since, I just haven't stopped. I've published, I think, 20-something books. I have 37 Kickstarters successful. So yeah, just 2021 is when I started publishing.
Your deathbed. We can't like walk past that.
I was really sick. 6 weeks in bed. The prognosis wasn't good. I had so many blood clots in my lungs they couldn't even count them. One had gone to my heart. Thank God it passed, or I would have went into full-blown cardiac arrest. I lost 60 pounds in a month. I was emaciated, muscle atrophy. I couldn't walk. I was on 4 liters of oxygen. And you know, they didn't think it looked good, but I'm a stubborn Irishman. They can kiss my ass. You know, God wasn't ready for me. And I started writing when I was in my deathbed there, so to speak, and didn't look back.
It's incredible, man. What a terrifying seed to have your creative world born out of.
Great weight loss program.
Great,
Actually,
and it's a great weight loss program.
well, here's the irony. It actually was a great catalyst. It may not be the way you want to lose weight, but I was able to keep the weight off once I did. So I'm 75 pounds down. So in a way, Kenneth is right. I wouldn't recommend you lose it that way, but you know.
Yeah, it feels weird saying I'm jealous, but
Yeah. Well, it's funny because when I was in the hospital, my doctor called me, and he's this little Jewish guy, and he goes, "How the hell are you talking to me right now? He saw the scans of my lungs. He goes, how are you even talking to me right now?" And he goes, "Oh, that's right, you're Irish."
Our friend Kenneth Beardsley is in the chat. Kenneth Beardsley has been sending out his latest issue of Weird Stories, which I have a story in, by the way, that Kenneth drew. This is an incredibly cool magazine, and keep an eye out on Kickstarter for Weird Stories issue 3. So was Tragedy your first venture out into the world of indie comics?
Yes. She was my first book. She's my flagship title. We've published 6 through crowdfunding, but now she's monthly in stores, starting at #1 again. And she sold really well on my own, and she's doing pretty damn good in distribution worldwide right now. So I'm excited. We just had a store signing with Will Spertasio and Alex Sinclair and Chris Sotomayor and Chris Young-Sung Lee for the first issue launch in October 15th. So,
wow! Oh, that's real. What a great lineup. So you got Tragedy, and you start putting out. You form your own publishing company, and do you take on other writers and projects as well?
yes, as a matter of fact, I just fulfilled the Kickstarter today for a Canadian creator that I publish. I also have Guido Martinez, who does the book Night. He's in Argentina. Night is every other month in stores through my distribution. And I publish other people from Brazil, some American creators. So yes, through crowdfunding, and then just Night is going through distribution right now.
Kenneth knows Tragedy and is talking, said he enjoyed the book. So you start writing for yourself.
Oh, thank you.
You start putting together your own comics. You're printing them, you're kickstarting them, and then you start bringing other people into the fold. And now we have what many people wouldn't even suspect would be the next evolution, and that's PHILBO distribution. So what I'd like to do is I'm going to share screen, and let's take a look at PHILBO distribution. I'm going to go here. And here we have PHILBO distribution, delivering ideas and dreams in the literary medium to retailers across the globe. So, Phil, tell us about PHILBO distribution. What are you doing here? What is this?
So, similar to Diamond, Lunar, Penguin Random House, with some different changes that are a little more publisher friendly and terms that are a little different. We distribute publishers that sign on with us, get in our catalog, and we distribute it to whatever stores order. And right now we have like 600 stores signed up, and we are worldwide. We have stores in the UK, Germany, Sweden. Australia, Mexico, Canada, and of course stores in different states across the country that order from us. And then we take those orders and we let the publishers know what they have, what books we need to get from them to fulfill those orders, and we ship them out to the stores.
What made you decide to jump into this?
Because I'm tired of people telling me what I can't do. I'm tired of the gatekeepers in this industry. I'm tired of the only people that should tell me my book won't sell are the fans. No distributor, no publisher, no company is going to tell me I don't have a right to get in the ring. Hey, Cliff! I love Cliff. Cliff is awesome.
Cliff. And Kenneth is with you here.
I joke about being Irish, but we fight and we drink, and I don't drink. I don't.
You fight, I'll drink.
Yeah, I don't. If I'm not good enough, if I'm not good enough, I can accept that. But I want to find out, and you shouldn't tell me that I can't find out. So I want to get in the ring and fight as hard as I can. And if I lose, I lose. But don't tell me I can't get in the ring. It's just not happening. So I decided I'll do it myself.
Now, this cover I've got on the screen, this is the artist you were talking about earlier.
That's yes, artist, writer, creator. His name is Jing, and he's Phantom Blade Productions. I don't know if he's still here. He was in the chat. Really good guy with the right attitude. He understands what this is all about. He understands the journey. He's been very successful on his own. And now he's, working with PHILBO, and we're doing what we can to get him out there more and more. And the guy is just top-notch professional. He understands what this business is about, and his book is so different and just visually stunning. You should all check it out.
It's beautiful. Just that.
Yeah, I mean, we've got Antarctic Press, Heavy Metal, Zenoscope, Devil's Due.
I was holding off on that.
Yeah.
You've got,
Terry Moore, Strangers in Paradise. Yeah.
How did you get Heavy Metal? It's amazing that you got Heavy Metal. So cool.
I mean, honestly, there's a void that needs to be filled, and I'm providing that with terms that the publishers appreciate. I mean, I don't mean this in any disparaging way, but right now Lunar is not really able to take anybody on. They're already overwhelmed, so they have massive managing them. And the publishers have been telling me it's tough to spend $300 per listing before you even sell a book. So I'm not requiring that. I'm not doing that. So it's made me, I guess, a little more appealing to them, because I am more publisher centric in the sense that I'm a publisher as well. Like, obviously, I'm my terms are fair to retailers, but I am protecting publishers as well, and I'm nurturing them and trying to help them win. I want to make money with people, not off of them. And and I'm not saying Massive is doing it. I'm just saying that that's my philosophy. I think that my terms help everybody succeed. Of course, you got to put the work in, though. I'm not your marketing. I'm distribution. I'll market you more than any other distributor will, but you still got to put in the legwork.
Let's take it, and Mark and James, jump in anytime you want. Let's take a step back. For people watching who may not understand what we're talking about, they know that we're comic makers, and they know what it is to make a comic. When we talk about distribution, what are we actually talking about?
So the whole point of distribution is outreach. It's me having the connection to every store in the country. What's up, Vic? Victor Medina, by the way, artist of Madcaps 2, which is what I was fulfilling today and sending out. So great artist, really nice guy. You should check out his work, get commissions, etc.
I feel he's not only a great guy, he's doing great things for the comic industry. I think that's what he told me to say.
I got your Zelle request, Vic, and it's on the way. But distribution is basically distributing your books to all the comic stores in the world. you're utilizing my services because I have those connections to all those stores. And the thing is, stores they can't order from individual publishers because then they'll be, what do they have, 100, 300 different people to keep track of? They just can't do it. It's already a lot for them right now to have 4 or 5 distributors. So, especially after having one for 30 years. So they want this central hub where they can say, okay, I'm going to look at all these publishers, order what I want from this one hub, get it delivered to me in one shot. And that's what we do. We put you in our catalog, we solicit you, we put you out there to people. And I even do email blasts for the publishers. I do things that the other distributors won't. And we get you out there to the direct market, which is comic stores.
So I'm an indie creator. I've been making my own work. This is actually a way for me to really get my work out there in comic shops. And you're making this possible where no one else has done so for indie comics.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, because Diamond was kind of picky on who they let in, and they would decide if they thought you could sell or not. And so a lot of good books didn't get a shot. And I don't believe in that. I believe in a free market. I believe in capitalism. And like I said before, the only people that should tell you your book isn't good enough are the fans.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Another thing to mention is this isn't a new thing. There used to be lots of distributor companies.
In the 80s, there were, yes.
Yeah, there was hundreds of them, and then Diamond slowly put a chokehold on.
James, are you talking? I can't hear you.
He is talking, and I can hear him.
Oh, jeez.
So this is kind of Phil sort of leveling the playing field again. Monopolies, in my opinion, are never good. So it's good to get this competition back in there, and Phil's been even talking to some of the bigger companies. So we'll see what happens. This might be the start of a whole new change in comics, which of course I think everyone on here can agree is needed as far as.
Unfortunately, not everyone agrees with that. There are some people that don't like change and they don't want it to happen, and they do what they can to halt me, but they can't. But yeah, it's true. It's good to have multiple distributors, but sadly, Penguin Random House, you have to have at least 20,000 for them to pick you up, so they're not on the table for us. Lunar is overwhelmed. They're not picking us up. They're not on the table for us. Massive's on the table, but a lot of publishers can't afford their terms. So that leaves me. And I don't say this to disparage anyone else, just speaking factually, my terms are more manageable for small publishers. So I don't believe in back of the catalog. I think that's horseshit. I think that's because you put us there. I'll give you an example. There's a store in Texas that orders minimum $5,000-$6,000 from us every month. Every month. Hundreds of books and all different titles, like most of the catalog. They're successfully selling us. There are a lot of stores that are successfully selling us. So what are they doing right, or what are they doing that the other stores that are reluctant aren't? That's my question, because I know it's easy to just rely on the stuff that can sell itself, Marvel and DC, which is not selling itself like it used to, let's be honest. But the stores that put a little bit of work in, just put talking headers or a nice display for indies. Some of them are telling me they're selling indies 4-1 over Marvel DC. There is a desire by fans for something new right now. Let's just be honest, okay? You can only write so much after 1,000 issues of a character before it's saying the same shit. There's corporate shareholders and interests, and then there's activism that's writing some. Now there's some comics that are still good, but there are also writers now that are writing, using the book as a forum to speak what they feel as opposed to serving a story. Is that every book? No. Of course not. There are some really good books still out there. But the good news about indie is we're just telling stories that can get you to escape from the world for a little while, and the freedom to tell whatever story you want without being a stranglehold from corporations. And there's a lot of people that want new indies. They just don't know they're out there because the stores are kind of gatekeeping too. They're not letting you know. They're not pushing you. I'll give you a perfect example. I did a store signing just recently at a fantastic, wonderful store, Fourth World Comics in Long Island. They are a huge store that does very well on their own, but they're big supporters of indie. Now, they outright bought my Diary of Dread horror magazine, and they put it on the shelf, but they put it on a shelf in the back of the store. Out of 7 copies that they bought, no, I'm sorry, yeah, they had like 5 left. So I said, give me the damn books. So at the signing, I put them on my table. I sold all 5 books within 45 minutes. And he was like, holy shit. I'm like, just let them know it's here. These people want it. Look, indie books are not what they used to be. I know that most indie books were kind of low budget. They look like crap. They weren't written well. I understand that. You had some that were stars like, Nexus and Concrete and stuff, but those were usually by artists and writers that came from the big 2 or whatever and did their own thing. Today, indies like myself are working with major Marvel and DC people. They're more professional. They're with Kickstarter and everything. We have outlets that helped us up our game. There are indie books that look better than what Marvel and DC are putting out. And I'll give you an example. Tragedy. Peter David, rest his soul, said it was better than most things on the shelf. And Howard Mackey likes it, and Chuck Dixon like it. Chuck Dixon wrote a foreword in my trade paperback because he liked the book. These are 3 major writers, and Howard Mackey was an editor as well in the industry, and I mean, they're going to be honest. They have no reason to lie to me. They would rip me apart. As a matter of fact, they told me they were going to rip me apart if it was garbage. All I'm going to say is this. The fan base is constantly complaining about the regurgitated same old shit, or that this show sucked, or this movie sucked, or, this was disappointing. And then they continue to buy and watch and consume said garbage. And they won't take a shot on the guy they don't know, but they'll keep throwing money at the guy they do, even when they complain and they're disappointed. So all I'm going to say is it's a small investment to give indies a shot. Pick up a couple of books and you might actually just like them. Tragedy's a monthly, so I'm not going anywhere. You pick up number 1, I'll see you at issue 32, hopefully, issue 75. That's what we want. Just give us a shot. Just a fair shot. If you don't like it, you got toilet paper for a week, but just don't get it wet because you'll have our characters imprinted on your ass. But give it a shot.
We'll pay extra for that.
Yeah. I mean, why not? We throw away money on alcohol. We throw away money on cigarettes. We throw on drugs. Well, give a shot at a book that maybe is that next new thing you're excited and looking forward to every month. I mean, at some point, we didn't know Spider-Man or we didn't know X-Men. It was new to everybody at some point.
We put out River. We put out Blood Valkyrie in Vegas. People pick up our comics and they come back to us later and they're like, we didn't know comics did this. We didn't know you could do this in comics. We were expecting a superhero. This is a really good sci-fi tale. This is, holy crap, this is crazy ass horror. We didn't know comics could do this. And that is what we got here. Evan, damn it, Phil, I'm officially in love with you. Claudio said, hello, Claudio, by the way. Claudio and I are actually working on a project together right now. He is a truly stunning artist. Been saying this for years. Glad to hear someone else saying it. And then Rafael Tavares said, party, 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 party. So we've got, let's see, Jim. Yep, give new ideas a chance. The actress from The Handmaid's Tale is a supporter of my series, showing that even famous names want new material to read. That's very cool. You should know her name, though, if she's supporting you.
Dude, all I know is comics, in my opinion, are the greatest medium in pop culture because you can have any genre in comics, romance, horror, superhero, you name it. And it's the best of the visual and the best of the literature, right? I mean, you have people like Alan Moore writing comics that have also written novels, right? And then you have some amazing artists like David Finch, Mark Silvestri, Jim Lee, yada, yada, yada. There's no better medium in the world. There's no better way to consume a story and submerge yourself and get out of the real world for a little while. Because look, the real world sucks right now, okay? Everybody's gone batshit crazy. Everybody's angry. Everybody's hating on each other for whatever stupid friggin' reason. What better way to just escape for a little while than get into comics that aren't mirroring today? That's the biggest thing I hate about Marvel and DC. I don't want to read about Miss Marvel complaining some guys in her Facebook DMs hitting on her. I mean, as a guy, I don't relate to that, especially since I would do something stupid like that anyway. But it's like, it's too real world. You know, I want superheroes to be bombastic. You're wearing spandex. Fight, goddammit. Fight. You know, I want to see Dr. Doom trying to get the fucking cosmic cube again and someone kicking his ass. Let's go. I mean, it's comics.
There's an imbalance now. Like, I mean, you know, people are like, oh, well, Spider-Man always had personal issues. Yeah. And it was about 2 pages in a 24-page book, you know, like
it was the backdrop, not the right.
It wasn't the focal point of the story.
Yeah, and the other thing is you can make a comic relatable and not have to beat you over the head with what's going on in the world. You can use, like when they did Speedy on drugs in the 80s with Neil Adams and oh my God, I can't think of the writer's name. But anyway, they used the backdrop of what was going on in the 80s with drugs, but they still wrote a comic. They still wrote a comic. It wasn't the writer telling you how to feel about anything. Like, if you know what I feel about any topic in my comics, I failed you as a writer, period. If you know where I lean, Denny O'Neil, thank you so much. He was supposed to do my show, and unfortunately he fell, and then he passed away not long after. Rest in peace.
Oh, man.
You beat me to it. I just grabbed my...
Yeah, thank you. But seriously, if you know what my political leanings are, if you know how I feel about any social commentary, I failed you as a writer because I'm using the book as a pulpit, not a story. Everything should serve the freaking story. Everything. Yeah. I have diverse characters in my book because it serves the story. I'm not just going to throw in a character of a specific race because I have to meet a quota or because I want to represent everybody, because the world doesn't represent everybody, right? You go to certain neighborhoods and it's one race or it's 1 or 2 races. You know, the world is diverse, but certain small communities are not necessarily. If I go to Chinatown, I hate to tell you, but Guido ain't sitting there eating a meatball hero. Let's just be realistic and write stories for the sake of writing stories.
I'm going to do that this weekend just to fuck up your theory.
Guido being an octopus.
Please, we'll wind up eating soup dumplings at...
and I'll eat everything. So,
again, the stories are supposed to just take us away, you know?
Yeah, when I was in high school, someone handed me Miss Barbara Gallo, whoever she is, she was a wonderful teacher, handed me Ray Bradbury's The Martian Chronicles. And I fired fucking through this book. I was amazed. I was moved. I was surprised. I was excited. And I was like, what an incredible science fiction story. What a wild idea about these Martians. And it was only when I read it a few more times, years later, that my brain kicked in and went, oh, this is about people and how they function. This is about humans. But he told a sci-fi story. You had to dig in to see that these themes were connected. And that's what sci-fi should do. That's what fantasy should do. It should tell a great fucking story. And whatever the moral of the story is, it shouldn't be explicit. It should be there for us to contemplate under the guise of just great entertainment. And that's
the difference between using a metaphor to tell a story and beating you over the head with, I believe this, so should you.
Right. Yeah. And the best fiction doesn't tell you what to believe. It opens
Right.
the entire thing up to questions so that you have to discuss it, debate it, consider every side of it. I
I'll
mean,
give
otherwise
you a
it's
perfect
propaganda. It's
example.
brainwashing.
Look at Magneto. It wasn't cut and dry. He did horrible things, but this was a man that was a victim in the Holocaust. He was wounded and came out fighting, and what he did was wrong. It's like you could you agreed that what he did was wrong, but you understood why he did it. It wasn't black and white, it was gray, right? No one was telling you what you had to think about his actions. You came to the conclusions based on your own moral fiber, right? We had giant size X-Men that had diverse characters, but you weren't beaten over the head with them being diverse characters. It was just a good story introducing you to other characters.
Real people. They weren't types. They were humans.
Right. It wasn't the German superhero. It wasn't the Russian superhero. It was Kurt Wagner and Peter Rasputin. Right? You get what I'm saying? And that's the beauty of diversity, where you don't have to point out their difference, but you can point out how similar they are to us. I mean, isn't that the point?
Absolutely. Evan is referring to a comic I have been making with Claudio called Mother Freud that we may be taking on the road soon to give her bigger and better things to do. So yes, Evan, they're going to see Mother Freud. Explore Nietzsche, Beardsley said. Yes, absolutely. So let's take a look at this catalog. And what I'm going to do, out of completely selfish reasons, is go straight to Fugitive Poems entry into the book.
We have over
so
70
we got some really cool stuff here. Escape from New Jersey 2. We have got, which every time I'm in New Jersey, that's all I want to do is escape from it. By the way, James and maybe Mark and I, well, maybe Mark, but James and I will be in Mount Laurel, New Jersey for Vampires of New Jersey Con 3 this Saturday from, I think, 2 to 8. Yes, 2 to 8. So if you want to come meet us and have you sign your chests, your books, definitely come to Vampires of New Jersey this Saturday. That is today is the 13th or the 15th from 2 to 8 in Mount Laurel, New Jersey. We've got the Mantis Files here. Look at these really cool offerings. I mean, this is what Phil is talking about.
By the way,
it's not the same
Comics,
shit you keep seeing.
You know, Silverline Comics is Roland Mann. He used to be the editor-in-chief at Malibu Comics.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, I mean, Second Sight has been with Dark Horse. We've got.
Look at that cover. Oh man,
it's not what it used to be, man. That's what I'm saying. Give it a shot. You got
look at that cover.
Stories.
Erroneously under Second Sight Publishing, that should be Fugitive Poems, but otherwise, look at
why does it have the wrong?
I don't know. This is what I texted about. But look at this. This, folks.
Somebody else. That may not be a bad thing. It's like having another set of prints on a gun.
Did you tell Maura?
You said yes, I did. So this is the grand unveiling of James's new cover for our brand new magazine, issue-based series, Folklore for the Uninsured. If you've been following us for a while, we've been talking about this for a while and wanting to put this together. And here it is, Folklore for the Uninsured, which we're really, really excited about. Every issue is going to be a collection of batshit crazy stories. Imagine EC Comics and heavy metal had a baby. And that's and it was really twisted and demented. Did you make stickers yet? I'll come if there are stickers. I haven't made stickers yet, Evan. And Brian said, "Oh, the 80s, yes." So, Folklore for the Uninsured is in the latest PhilViews catalog.
It'll be fixed by tomorrow.
Thank you very much. In the latest PhilViews catalog, comic shops are getting these catalogs. They go online, they order, and boom, you can order your Fugitive Poems comic now. And this is just the beginning. Right now we have let me get rid of share screen here. Right now we have Dirty Living live on our website. $2.99 every 3 months. Every 3 months, a brand new issue. When the arc is finished for Dirty Living, it's going to be going to comic shops. We got more comics coming, more series coming. I haven't even told James and Mark about this yet. A great conversation with a terrific writer today who sent me a pitch deck for a comic we've been talking about. I'm hoping this is going to be in the works as well. We got some really cool stuff happening. And now, thanks to Phil, we're going to be getting this in comic shops. You can order Blood Valkyrie in Vegas from our site, but pretty soon we're going to have this in comic shops too. But what do you have to do? And that's important. So as a fan, Phil, as a fan who wants these comics in their shop, what do they have to do?
You have to tell your local comic shop that you want these books. They will order if they know that you want them in your pull list. It's obvious. It's about making money, right? The store is not going to order on the hopes of selling. But if they've got 3 or 4 or 5 people telling them they want this book, they will order the book plus a couple extra for the shelf. If for whatever reason your local comic shop does not work with PHILBO, ask them to sign up an account. It's free, obviously. If for whatever reason they're not looking to work with PHILBO, contact me or contact Christian, and I will provide your online retailers or local stores that will work with you, that will take your business and get the books for you through PHILBO.
Yeah, I was going to say, if the guy won't work with you, just find a new comic store.
Well, I mean, there's 2 things, right? There are some comic stores that they just don't feel confident that any of the titles we carry, they can order enough to make any money. And they don't want to spend shipping on just buying 4 or 5 books. So until you prove to them that they can buy, they're not going to. And then there are some that are just resistant to my terms because they liked not having to pay for books for 60 days while receiving the product and getting 50% discount and free shipping. And, we are prepay because part of why Diamond went under is because of millions in unpaid invoices. Publishers should not have to wait 90 days to get paid because we're letting the stores get 60 days to pay. There is no other retail area where you get to walk out of the store and not pay for 2 months. It's not. And when Diamond lost all the big companies, that was not conducive to their model anymore. And hence they went out of business. And I'm not here to go under. Some have complained about the 40% discount, but Lunar gives you a 35% discount unless you spend $1,000 a week or more. We do not require a minimum from you. So we're already 5% better than Lunar. If you buy 3 books, 4 books, we're not pigeonholing you. There's no minimum with us. There's no minimum. But we ask you to give it a try. Try some books. Check them out.
Folks, you want your comic shop working with PHILBO, you're going to get stuff that you've never seen before. Incredibly cool indie comics. It's like I remember in the 90s, there were 3 shelves at my local comic shop. There was a Marvel shelf, there was a DC shelf, and then there was the indie shelf. And I always went to the indie shelf, which eventually became Image. But there was Dark Horse there, and there were all these other great companies. And that's where you found the wild, cool shit. Phil has got amazing, cool stuff in his incredible catalog.
And it's funny because there was a point where IDW, there was a point where Dark Horse, Dynamite, Boom, were all these small publishers that nobody wanted to give a shot. Some of them went with licensed properties to help boost themselves up, and some of them didn't. Some of them, like, Boom, just wound up having some hits. I guess my point is hindsight is a bitch. You have a chance to jump on board now with all these publishers that one could blow up, and you were there from the start. You know, if you're an investor and a collector and not a reader, why wouldn't you just take a small investment in a #1 on tragedy, or a Fugitive Poems book, or a Symphonic Verses book? Because if it doesn't become anything, all right, you enjoyed the story. But what if it does? What if it's the next big thing 4 years from now? I mean, how many people wish they got #1 of Something is Killing the Children at the time? You know, who knew that was going to blow up? It's just, I'm not really for the investment of the collecting. I'm for the storytelling. But I know some people are. But it's a no-lose situation. You either walk away with solid stories, or you walk away with an investment, you know, in the future, or both. And the worst case scenario, all right, just wasn't for me. I spent $3, $5, whatever it is. You piss away more money on McDonald's Happy Meals at this point, clogging your arteries.
What the hell's $3? That's like a penny.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
seriously, $8 for Starbucks coffee that you're gonna piss out in about an hour, right? And then, you know, you're buying another one because you're trying to stay awake at the job you hate. Well, stories are investments. I mean, how many movies or books, whether it's Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings or great Claremont runs on X-Men, do you still to this day either revisit or talk about with your friends? Stories resonate. They help form who we are in a way. I mean, comics saved my life as a kid. I led a very violent life. I didn't even feel safe in my own home, and comics were my getaway. And I never went to drugs. I never went to alcohol. I never went to jail. You know, comics are very powerful. Storytelling is very powerful. It's very powerful.
This dude is the bomb, Claudio says.
We need you to nurture storytelling again. Look, enjoy your nude covers if you want. Enjoy your slabbing if you want, but that's not going to save the industry, because we need readers back in stores. If stores are going to thrive and open up again, and if comic publishers are going to thrive, we need readers that come in every month looking for that next issue. And I'm sorry, but titty books aren't doing that, and neither are slabs.
Yeah, and you know, if your comic books know better than the cover, what's the point?
I kind of feel like the whole thing is like a leftover from the 90s anyway, when there was no internet porn. They really need to like get with the times at this point. Like, I mean, you know, and so much of our other entertainment media is coming from comic books. You know, they got Sandman on Netflix. They got, you know, it's all over the place, you know, big and small. And you would think that for an industry that's fueling other industries, somebody would be putting some more thought into the stories. And yeah, maybe this is the turning of the tide here. I don't know.
Comics are a power medium that are best per penny. And Evan says Resin Alien. And yes, that came from a comic book as well.
Right.
That show Lucifer, that was huge. That came from a comic book as well. James, you were talking about something really important to me. What were you saying about covers versus the insides?
Oh, yeah. Well, I was bouncing off what Philbo said. You know, if it's just about variant covers and, you know, I can't tell you how many comic books, when I go into the stores, I pick them up. Cover looks great. And then you look inside and it's just, you know, the same garbage. There's no story. You know, there's all these ads in there, and you know, you're not really going anywhere with it. You know, I really love the, you know, like Phil keeps saying, you know, it's got to be about a cool story and, you know, really cool artwork inside as well. There's nothing that annoys me more than if I'm looking quickly, like if we're at a show, you know, if we're at a signing or something, I'll pick something up for the cover and I open it up and it's like, whoa, what is this? You know, wait,
right?
Why is the entire inside of this book just filler to sell me the cover? It's ridiculous. I mean, it is only a couple bucks, but by the same token, you know, there should be something there. And these are big name publishers too doing this to us.
And that's the thing, right? You know, I've heard people say, yeah, but not all indie comics are great. You're right. But not every Main Street comic is great. I mean, mainstream, how many DC comics or Marvel comics do you say this art is shit? or the story sucked. I mean, there are even great books that I couldn't stand the art at all, but the stories were solid. I won't name them because then I'll start a whole controversy. But it's like art is subjective, you know, but storytelling is not. You know, everybody will have a different idea of art, but a good story is a good story, period.
People need to learn that comics are visual literature. The two need to work together, Claudio
Agreed.
says. Very true. Support the underdog, Brian said. You never know. Absolutely true. Well, this is what I am so excited. We are so excited to be part of Philbo Distribution.
Honored, sir. Honored.
Honored.
Yes.
And Phil is one of the greatest friends that we've made, but he's also one of the greatest friends. I'm sorry. Yeah. We have terrible fucking taste in people.
Yeah,
but
really.
Phil is proving now that he is one of the greatest friends of the indie comic movement. Get in touch with Phil. See if this is something that you want to be a part of, that you can be a part of, to get your books in stores. If you're a comic creator, that's the hump, man. That's the big challenge. A man can only live on Kickstarter so long. Get your fucking books in stores. And Phil is making it possible for indie creators, which is doing something for the creators and those of you that are comic fans that are watching us. This is where you're going to get the cool shit. This is where you're going to get the stuff that no one else is doing. Phil's got 2 books, one about Linkin Park and one about Tool in his catalog that I'd never seen before.
Yeah.
He's got one with a dead demon taxi driver that looks amazing. All these I'm sitting there going, wow, I'm thrilled to be part of this list. We've got folklore for the uninsured in Phil View's latest catalog. Go to philbodistribution.com. Take that to your comic shop on your phone and say, you guys are ordering from this catalog, right? And I want folklore for the uninsured issue 1. It is a great issue and it's from a great distributor. Let's see. What did Brian said? Comics are East meets West. Evan says, does this make Fugitive Poems part of the Philbo stable? Absolutely.
Oh yeah. That's
I just have to say, I'm sorry. Anybody who's watching, if you really, really support the independent scene, you are the power behind all of it. The consumer, the fan. We can all blast the stores all we want. Christian and James and Mark, they could go, you need this book from Fugitive Poems. And that store is going to say, how do I know it's going to sell? The people with the power are the consumer who spends the money. If you sit there and you go to your store and you say, I want this book, you increase the chances of them buying that book. We need you. We need you to give us a shot and support us, because the stores are going to follow you because they want your money. They want you to spend money. That's how they stay open.
Yeah.
So it's not, and I don't mean this to be rude, but I'm just a straight shooter. Likes, clicks, that's all sweet and kind. Good, nice comments are all wonderful. But unless you go out there, boots to the ground, and tell your local comic store, I want Tragedy. I want Fugitive Poems books. I want Dren Productions. I want Symphonic Verses. I want it. I want it. Order it, order it, order it. And if your store says no, go to another store. I'm not saying leave that store and stop doing business with them, but find another store that will work with us and get you your books.
Absolutely.
You guys are the groundswell movement that we need. I can sit here and start distribution. These guys can publish their asses off. Without you, we have nothing. And remember this, we value you. We need you. We appreciate you. Every one of you. We're not at any level, and we should never get to that level, by the way, as far as this way of thinking, that we can afford to lose a fan and not worry about it. You work hard for your money, probably at a job that you fucking hate. And then we ask you to spend that $4.99 on our book. I am grateful for that. Every single one of you that busts your ass, and that might be, a third of the pay for an hour for you or half the pay, I don't know. and that you're supporting my dream with your hard-earned money. There's no greater honor, privilege, and appreciation that I could have for that. But we need you. We need you. Enjoy your Marvel books, enjoy your DC books, but give indies a new try. You won't be disappointed. And for every disappointment you have, you'll have 5 new books that you love.
Absolutely. We're working hard at this. We are putting out, James and I got together, Mark came in, we agreed all the way. We only want to make comics we would want to read. And we want to read badass, wild shit that gives you something to think about without telling you what to think about, and is more than anything just fun. And that's what we're making, folks. And you guys know that, you Fugitive Poems fans watching this. And those of you who are going to get this video passed to you, check out our stuff and go to PHILBO Distribution. Get your comic shop to start ordering from there. And please know, Phil Russertt is making this happen. He is a friend of the indie comic, and he is making this happen.
We're all making this happen. Rising tides raise all ships. I may be providing an outlet, but we're all putting in the work. We're all putting it out there. We're all sacrificing, and that's the point. Reward the people that are passionate about this, not the ones that are just trying to take your money through gimmicks. There are grifters and the gimmick guys and all the bullshit. And then there are the people that truly give a shit about this medium and storytelling. And we just have these stories that are clawing at our brains that we just want to share, you know? And we need you. We really need you to do that. And I do want to say one other thing. Any retailers that think that indie doesn't sell, I can name you a bunch of stores right now that order $5,000-$6,000 worth from me every month because they sell. I can name a lot of stores that are saying they sell indie 4-to-1 over Marvel and DC because they do 2 small things. They give us a nice little spot up front, and they put talking headers in front of the comics. So to the retailers that are in blogs all day or writing blogs or in chats on Facebook, maybe put the computer away for 20 minutes a day and just put a talking header up and give us a small display and let people know we're there. I guarantee you'll see the tides change. But you got to market what you have in your store, just like we have to market what we have in our publishing company. You'd be surprised. Just put a little effort in, and you can make money off of indie.
And it's time
absolutely.
It's time for them to take a chance. The stores, I check every now and then just to see who's still out there, and the numbers just dwindle down and down and down.
I know, but you know what kills me? They sit there and they have a statue that they probably paid $300, $400, $500 for, even with the 50% discount, collecting dust on the top shelf. They have the Godzilla Monopoly, and all the other freaking board games that they probably spent $30 or $40 on, collecting dust on a shelf. But they won't take a chance on a $3 indie book, which is their demographic, a comic book. And your markup only matters if you're selling.
And that book could end up being the next Monopoly game. It could be the next big thing.
Right.
But who's going to know?
But I don't understand that frame of thought. Is you get action figures and T-shirts that are sitting there. You know, you go to Target, and you see them cleaning out Target, and then they mark it up $5, and it sits on a shelf because you could just go get the damn thing at Target for $5 less, and they'll invest that money, which there's no discount there, and they'll rack those figures up all over there collecting dust, and that's just sitting there, and they never complain. But they're going to complain about a $3 indie book. Bullshit. Bullshit. That's why stores are closing. Yep. You got to get your head out of 30 years ago.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry.
Absolutely. Folks, I put in the chat the website for PHILBO Distribution. What I'd like you to do is go to that site, click on the catalogs there, look through what's being offered, and tell me you don't want those books. Walk into your comic shop, show them that website, and say, are you dealing with PHILBO Distribution? If they say yes, tell them what you want for your pull list. If they say no, tell them what you want for your pull list and get them to deal with PHILBO Distribution. And Jonathan Chiotis is here. Woo, just in time. Folks, this has been Phil Russertt who is has been tremendous, a terrific guest. Thank you so much, folks. I am Christian DeMatteo. James Lyons is here. Mark Capitelli. We have had a great time with Phil Russertt. This is The Art Will Not Be Changing. Tell your friends, your family about it. Tell everyone about PHILBO Distribution. Thank you for watching and have a wonderful rest of your evening.